That's a part of life. And as much as the yoga, we're going to have these videos around here, very much physical aspect of concepts, it's just the first layer of being to get into that deeper sense of stuff. So why inversions and arm balances and stuff like this come much later on in the yoga aspect of your class journey is because it kind of goes along the timeline of connection with self. So in inverted state, we're focusing on higher level, higher consciousness thinking. Higher consciousness thinking does not mean advanced yogi, as much as we like to think. Higher consciousness thinking is the openness and vulnerability to try, right? So today, you've decided to step into a higher level of thought by choosing to step into something that might be completely new, might be uncomfortable, and take a moment to give yourself gratitude and appreciation for that, because that's really the purpose of the class. We've already done it, so you can be like, cool, I'll see you later. I'd rather not. Yeah. So step 2, like I said, you're going to meet each other's names. That starts now. Maybe 10 seconds to find someone you don't already know. And 2 minutes, you're going to tell each other your name. And you're going to start off with why you came here, what you're hoping to learn, and then they're going to be your buddies for the experience. So they can remind you of why you came, you can remind them why they came. So if you're like, hey, I know what's going on. Again, it's side note. If you're like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to question you. I don't want to be about that. You can have to. You can opt out. I'm not going to judge you. Nobody is going to judge you for it. But if you are opting out and connecting with those in the space, I am going to at least require you to come up and connect with me and tell me who you are and why you came today. Other than that, I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Find someone you don't already know. 2 minutes, maybe. If we have an unneeded number, someone gets to come and be with me. Alright, so first connection of the day wasn't so scary, right? We always think it's going to be. That feeling, fear though, that's something you're going to have to get real comfortable with today. Because it's going to rise a lot. A lot. It's not going to stop. But that's what's amazing about, again, stepping into higher consciousness. Psychologically, that's called precognizance to cognizance. And even our brain is set up in this like inverted state where we come into limbic thinking early on, and then we rise up into like, what is the meaning of life as we get older? So as you're shifting and moving throughout your poses today, I want you to realize that we're all coming together in that very first stage of understanding where we're at. Now, just because someone's going to get in the head say today, handstand, forearm, whatever, and someone doesn't mean that they're better at doing yoga, doesn't mean you suck at what you're doing, you never get it, blah, blah, blah. We all have the initiation committee. Okay, so step 1 in the experience. Warming up the body, prepping yourself for movements. There are key factors to creating versions successful and safe. And for that, we have to build awareness first. So you have 2 blocks of class today, we're going to move through some stuff, you're going to start to feel, notice shift change, and then we'll start playing around. Cool? Cool. Alright, we're going to start in your child's pose. Take both your blocks out in front of you, about shoulder width distance apart. You're going to take your forearms, press them down on the blocks, let your wrists hang over the front, bring your forehead down to touch towards the mat, or let it just hang at the earth. Your knees can go as far as they need them to. And take a big breath in. Exhale, sigh out. And deep breath out. Start to sway across your thighs with your belly. If your forehead's touching down to the earth, maybe you feel a movement across the forehead. Inhale. Exhale, sway your hands over towards the left right side, all the way down from hip to pinky finger. Inhale, come back into the middle. Exhale, walk your hands opposite side. Stretch your left hip back to your left heel. Then find a C body as you compress one rib cage and open through the other. Inhale, come back into the middle. Bring your hands onto the blocks. Exhale, rise up into an elevated tabletop position. Hands are directly underneath the shoulders. Now your pinky finger meets one edge of the block. Your thumb finger meets the other edge of the block, the lowest setting. Ask yourself, is that really how close your shoulders are together? Likely not. It's further to be easier to be a little bit wider and then work your way in over time. Now press the pinky finger and the thumb into the blocks. Feel your fingertips spider web. Those middle knuckles lift up off the mat. Inhale, sink your belly, lift your heart, lift your gaze, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, press into the palms, round into your back, bring the chin to the chest. Inhale, shoulders compress towards one another, lift your heart, lift your gaze. Exhale, stillness through the arms as you round into your back, let the speed from the shoulder joint itself. Inhale, sink, lift your heart. Breathe out, round into the spine, push your left hand into your block, lift your right arm up to the sky. Wiggle through your wrists, fingertips. Inhale. Exhale, thread your right arm past your left wrist onto your shoulder. Inhale, reverse, lift your right arm up. Exhale, thread. Breathe in, lift your right arm up to the sky. Shift the weight into your left shin bone. Extend your right foot to the back of the mat. Press down to the outer edge of the foot, feeling your arch lift, the inner thigh engaged. Breathe in. Breathe out, bring the bicep by the ear, stretch through the side body. Root down to the outer edge of your extended foot. Inhale, rise up, reach your arms long to the sky. Exhale, sit your hips back towards your left heel, tuck your toes of the left foot, and press your ball to meet the heel. I'll come into a single broken toe posture with an inner thigh release. Walk your hands out as far as you need to. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, rise up, arms come up and overhead. Turn towards the front of your mat, plant your hands down onto the blocks. Roll onto the right toes. And then send your left foot back to meet your right as you move into an elevated down dog. Little bend in the knees to start. Now the blocks underneath, this is going to make the stability a little bit more challenging when you're down dog. Feet laying about hip width distance. Inhale, lift up halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold. Root down to your feet, reverse line. Arms come up and overhead. Now step your feet together, hug your inner thighs towards one another. Turn your palms up towards the sky. And then interlace the fingers, bring the hands behind your head. Elbows up towards the ceiling. Now usually in this posture, what will happen immediately, you notice my body back, then banana back. What you want to focus on is taking the bottom of your ribs and knitting them down towards your hip bones, creating a first abdominal engagement that is required to work on an inverted state. Next thing noticing is if the shoulders are squeezing by the ears, can you depress them away while still pressing up through the elbows? Inhale. Exhale, bend into your knees, round into your spine, bring your chin towards your chest. Inhale, lengthen through the legs, open your heart, lift your elbows high. Exhale to round, elbows towards the shin, chin to chest. Inhale to open, lift your elbows up. Last time, taking into standing rabbit posture. Inhale, lengthen, open up, reach your arms wide. Back behind the back, interlace the fingers, set the feet a little bit wider in the distance. Bend your knees, sit your hips back. And then cascade your belly towards your thighs, drape your head down towards the earth, get into your shoulders. Now the muscle stretch I want you to notice here happens underneath your armpit. Exhale, fold, tense your hands onto the blocks, step your feet back, plank pose on the blocks, knees up or down. And then gaze down at your elbow and shoulder placement. Usually most people start out with it directly over the elbow. Go ahead and bring your shoulders instead out over your fingertips. Now, that muscle we just talked about, the serratus, think about firing up and bringing the shoulders away from the ears. Feeling that activation as your armpit gets deeper. Next thing, notice what's going on with your abdominal region. Two things tend to happen here. Butt lifts to the sky or hips sink towards the earth. Look at the mirror beside the room and check your plank pose. Adjust accordingly. Inhale. Exhale, bend your elbows to 90 degrees and hold. This is low plank position, and it's actually a lot harder than we realize. Because often we slip through it, we go past it. But remind your plank, go at 90 degree arms. Go ahead, look towards the mirror. Notice anything that needs to be adjusted. Inhale. Exhale, bring your shins down to the earth, hips back to the heels. Stretch through your arms. Slide your blocks down towards your forearms. Elbows touch to the blocks. Thumbs to the back of the skull. Roll over your belly and stretch it through the lats down to the side of the hips. You're also going to feel the stretch in the backs of your arms in this posture. Those are your triceps. Another essential muscle needed to be activated for stability and safety in your inversions. Inhale to come forward, rise up, tabletop pose, palms to block. Exhale, round into your back cat pose. Inhale, sink, heart comes forward. Exhale, round. One more time, inhale. Exhale to round, this time gaze into your right hand. Breathe in with your left arm up to the sky. Wiggle through the wrists, unclench your teeth, your face. Inhale. Exhale, thread the needle, reach past your right armpit cover. Inhale, reverse, reach up. Exhale, sweep. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sweep. Breathe in with your left arm up to the sky. Roll into the outer shin of your right leg. Extend your left foot back, coming into your side base. Squeeze down to the outer edge of your extended leg. You're going to feel your inner thigh and pelvic floor fire up. Then fire up your abdominal wall. Inhale, rise up, arms come up and overhead. Tuck your toes of the kneeling leg. On the exhale, send your bum back towards your heel. Coming into broken toe squat on the opposite side. Let your hands come down to help support your body here. We're stretching through the fascial connection of the feet, particularly feeling in the big toe ball outside. Why? Because in inverted states, that's the habitual pattern for us to sickle the ankle and internal rotation, meaning we don't stretch this side. We often end up stretching the outer ankles. Feel this stretch today when you're upside down. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in, rise on up. Pivot back towards the front of the room. Arms come down onto the blocks. Press down into your palms. Send your right foot back to meet your left here in your downward facing dog with your palms on blocks. And press into the thumb, index side of your wrist, or not your wrist, but your palm pad. And then press into the finger pads, lifting up your middle knuckles. And that's finding that joint stability. So here you can roll your shoulders out, you can roll your shoulders in, and you're able to do that with range and flexibility. We can even try that on. Go ahead and roll your elbows towards the earth. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, walk yourself forward, forward, forward. Breathe in to lift halfway. Exhale, forward. Inhale, reverse one leg, arms come up and overhead. Breathe out, hands behind the head, interlace the fingers. This time, bring the hands back behind your skull so much so that you can see your pinky fingers, or you can't see it down here. We'll turn your knee so that you will be able to quarter turn towards the front of the room. So you can see your pinky fingers above your head. Bring your elbows towards the mirror. Hug them in, shoulders to press down, ribs hip and ribs knit. Inhale. broken toe pose. And then press back up into the big toe side as you rise back up. Using your backside body here. Think about rounding, finding cat back, so curl the belly. And then as you lift up, use your cow back to rise up tall. What you're feeling here is the core belt that's essential to lift instead of hop. And we'll talk why we're not going to hop in a minute. Go ahead, around forward. And then inhale to find your cow and lift back up. Open the elbows wide, lift your chest. Exhale, reach your hands behind you, grab opposite interlacing, that awkward grip. Cascade, belly to thighs, head to the earth, shoulder stretch. Bend your left leg, straighten your right. Bend your right, straighten your left. Inhale, lift up halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step your feet back, plank position, this time off the blocks. Bring your knees down to the earth. Take one of your blocks, slide it back where your navel is. Tuck your toes, lift your knees up off the mat. And we're going to play around with that shift again, right? So often we start with shoulders over wrists. We want to take them further forward. This is a shift that's essential for your balances and inversions. Bend the elbows. Elbows go back towards your hips, not out to the side of the room. Now you don't want to touch the block. You're hovering an inch above your block. Look to those mirrors and notice what's going on with your body. Adjust accordingly. Bend, take your hands a little wider. Just a little wider. Yeah, that's, you got broader shoulders. There you go. Notice the difference? Does that feel better? Okay, good. Yeah, I noticed like, no, wait a minute. We're here for one more breath in. Exhale, bring your knees to the earth, fix back to the heels, hold on to your block ahead. Stretch. Someone rise up into a kneeling position. Take your right hand behind your back as if you're holding hands with yourself. Left elbow comes back towards your right. And take your left ear towards your left shoulder. Without moving your spine. So focusing here on keeping the spine tall. Another perfect opportunity to take the ribs and knit them towards the hips, utilizing that core engagement. Turn your chin down towards your left shoulder. Lift your chin up towards the sky. Come back to the middle. So it's probably a pretty decent stretch, right? We'll take it to the other side and I'll keep talking to you. So these are the SCMs, the scaling muscles. These are your neck muscles. And did you know that we get these so tight from like existing? We stress out, turn our teeth, we hunch our shoulders up, and over time we shorten. So that nagging pain underneath your shoulder blade, that's from this. So how do we get rid of it? We start to open up and release the muscles. Turn your chin down towards the opposite, or down towards the right shoulder. Start to feeling the discomfort, recognizing that discomfort is way different than pain. Discomfort is temporary. Discomfort is essential to move through. We need known and unknown to experience life. Inhale. Exhale, release your hands out, shake it out. Okay, so inversions, right? Woo, fun, okay. We have essentially stretched, open, worked up every muscle needed to start playing around. The first thing is taking the ethical idea into it, should we play around? Let's talk safety concerns first for us. Doesn't mean you're not going to get to invert today, but like, what should I do have on those? No, place from which you feel stuck, that's your compression zone. And it's away from the earth currently as this is a dolphin pose. So bring your elbows closer to, there you go, there you go. I was like, no, we got this. All right. Take knees down to the earth. It's back to the beach. So, did you feel that shoulder shift? Recognizing that the shift shows up at the beginning of our classes, it will evolve throughout our practices. If you can shoulder shift, you have the initial setup for your headstands. So then the next step, to find that shoulder shift forward, interlace the fingers to create a basket. Open the palms up, and then slide your hands back an inch behind your hairline. So the front of your head. Yeah. And then you're going to press your head into your hands. Feel your shoulders roll down, that shoulder away from the ear action you felt earlier. You're going to keep pressing the head forward into the hands, and then allow for the hairline and the pinky fingers and the rest of those knuckles that touch to touch down. Now this is the moment where the shoulders usually squeeze back up by the ears. Roll them back and down. Find that active armpit muscle. With just the hairline and the pinky fingers, tuck your toes, lift your hips, come into dolphin with those two spots connected to the neck. Your head is not pressing down, it's pressing forward, keeping the shoulders away from your ears. Now, walk your toes a little closer towards your face. And a little closer, and a little closer, and keep walking on them. Eventually you're like, fuck, tell me to come down, please, this sucks. Come on down. Yeah, right up. So what you felt at that point were all of our brains, compression. Compression is what limits our ability to get into the baskets you're saucing up from the beginning. So how do we get around compression? How do we get around any of the other things that are compressed in our yoga practice? We adjust, we shift, we change. So instead of finding that closed leg position that we're so often wanting to see, sorry, I'm getting my bum for a minute, that you're so often wanting to see, instead finding that point of compression and you're like, oh, I'm done. Oh, you know what, I can walk around that compression by going wide. Then remind yourself, because the shoulders hang off the knees, down away from the ears, and then it's a lift. Now, notice what the lift is. I'm going to show you that again. The lift is cat pose, cow pose, cat pose, cow pose. So if you can cat cow, you can lift your ass up into this first posture. Like literally, we practice those around squeezing muscles like every fucking class someone does cat cow. You're never gonna get away from it. But this is where we can really bring it in. So go ahead, find your arms out in front of you, interlace your fingers into your basket, tuck your toes, lift your hips up, come into that section. Just like when you're in dolphin pose, you might need to adjust elbows, hands. Everyone's shoulder angles are a little bit different. What you want to feel is pressure into the elbows, into the hands, very little into the shoulders and into the head. Now, if you walk wide, and your cat cow still says, it's okay, we're gonna talk about it again in a minute. I love that you did that, because that's my favorite thing to do here. Yeah, don't go all the way up though. Alright, cool guys, cool down. Alright, so you felt it though, right? That, oh man, I have been doing this. Yeah. So I always strongly encourage if you're someone that likes to go out and have a good time and stuff, that you really start to love twerking, because if you don't yet, like you need to be able to love it so that you can really do everything in this class. It's like I always said, go to booty. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up. Remember, weight is in the elbows, not in the head. Weight is in the elbows, not in the head. Push your head to your hands, not the earth. Forward, not down. Walk your toes towards your face. And then as you start to walk them wide, those of you that need that moment of extra momentum, walk your toes up onto the blocks. And you might have to bend your knees, that's okay. Just to push yourself up, yeah, and then cow your butt back. Cow your butt back towards the mirror. And that's going to be your first lift. Press into your elbows, shoulders away from your ears. He's like, oh shit, I am here. Booty up, not feet up, booty up. Booty up. I'm going to give you one more chance to hit that. So we're going to switch into the next headstand practice. And the next headstand practice is tripod headstand. And tripod headstand is great. It would be exception that there's a little bit more weight on the head. So instead of doing the interlaced basket, you're in a tabletop position. Now we're not going to do it together yet. This is just a visual demo. So tripod headstand is called tripod because there's 3 points of contact that touch the earth to make the posture happen. These 3 points of contact landing down on the earth correctly create an equilateral triangle. This is why geometry is done in school and only for this reason, to learn your headstand. So, an equilateral triangle, all the way around that 60-degree angle in every area. Again, we play with the shoulder roll. This is that out. We want it in. Hug. Activation for the muscles underneath the armpit. Then that shift, right? This is a bad decision for tripod headstand. It's a bad decision because there is no triangle, which means there's no 3 points of contact, which means there's no place of safety or stability for the neck and shoulders. So you need to shift. Elbows stay in line with your wrist. Hairline touches down. Tuck your toes. Lift up. You're going to come into the sweet spot that you're going to want to feel when you're taking the basket. So this time, we'll walk the toes up and then you're going to bring the knees to the backs of the arms. Now, this is something I learned how to do when I was 7 in gymnastics. This is like the best thing. We're like, yeah, this is so cool. So the next thing you're going to do is then work on your cat, 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 cat. I'm going to just do that. What I want you to think about, this is the one where there's less of a foundation. So while there is more points of contact, there's less foundation in tripod, which means more likelihood of falling. Yeah, fall. So for this, great thing to do is play. Is to take it with a playful mindset and understanding. And when you were a kid, it was like super fun to play and then take this off because if I do that, I might choke myself and then you'll have to call the doctor. It's a mess. Alright. So, wide-legged forward fold is one of the great ways that you can find your tripod headstand. And I like to teach the tripod headstand in the hot sequence from this position. This position, we're not going to do it, but this is, again, a reflection of the tripod, right? But instead, you know what, I'm going to surprise you. Go ahead and get up. Move your blocks out of the way. Sir, move that weight out of the way. We're going to play around with controlled falling. Go ahead, come on up. Wide-legged forward fold. In wide-legged forward fold, we start immediately with the shoulders out as far as they need to. There's no way they can't. Walk your hands back in line, fingertips in line with your toe tips. Then you're going to bring yourself forward into the balls of your feet. Bend your knees if you need to, so that your head can come down. Push forward. It means you're building conscious awareness of the muscles you already know about. But 9 times out of 10, the people that hop are not want to know the awareness, but want to skip the steps to get into the pose. So, we have to slow down. We have to make that connection to self in that way. So in order to do that, I'm not going to have you guys take me with closed legs ever. You're going to take them wide, because taking them wide requires you to lift them. If I see you hopping with one foot, it's on video. I'll make sure to keep it in there. I'm kidding. I'm not really going to do that. The sound doesn't even be on. So it's recognizing that if it feels like you need to hop, it's because you haven't worked your back yet. And you have to think about trying to get your butt up over your shoulders. And that requires that groovy hop. So for tripod headstand, we can start on the knees. We can take it in just like we did before. Finding that angle, shoulders 90 degrees. Finding, go to your head, you should be able to see all 10 fingers. Then you're going to walk them wide. Even if you take the knees, you're going to have to kick the feet out. There is no hopping. You either go into the knees and you're kicking them out, or you're taking them up. Okay? That's what we're going to do next. So let's try it. Come right onto your hands and knees, tabletop position. And again, if you face me this time, don't worry, I will hit the wall in a moment. And remember, if you needed the blocks for your feet, you might need them now, so just keep them nearby. Go ahead and find that first 2 corners of your triangle. So index and thumb are facing more towards one another. And then you're going to find the shift of the bend, shoulders out from your fingertips. Keep your elbows in line with your wrist, bring the hairline down. Tuck your toes with a nice, long, strong spine to roll up into the sweet spot between the hairline and the crown of the head. Now it's the walk with the feet back slow for the legs to lift up. Get it, boy. And if you start to feel like you're falling backwards, you need to press into those with your hands, hug your elbows together, and take a little bit of that booty pop out of play. Again, reknit the hips and ribs together. Yes, shoulders are squeezing, bring them down. Yeah, knees come down here. Go ahead and rise. Yeah. See, we bring the awareness and we take it nice and slow, and that you feel the core engagement, because the hops again, the quadriceps want to compensate for what the core does not want to do. In everything we do, it's not just inversions, it's in everything. So when we take it slow and controlled, we have to feel the engagement of this, aligned with the strength of this, to be able to lift from this to get these up there. Like, because these actually don't really need to do anything until we're going up. Okay? Okay, let's try this time again, part one at a time. The feedback essential is key. You are going to turn towards the wall. It is going to be a one person at a time thing because there is taking so much space. I will let you know when to switch out. Any questions, again, that I think is perfect for the group right now is a good one. If not, go ahead and start practicing, get feedback, and then anything that's left afterwards. Yeah. Which is what we're going to move on to next, and this is forearm. Removing the forearm stand because it is headstand without your head. And everyone's like, what? No. Headstand without your head? No way, that shit's hard. I've never been in the forearm stand. It's headstand without your head. So, here's your headstand. But for the purpose of stand, I'm going to keep my hands cupped together. Tuck your toes and lift. Here's where my head is, right? I'm going to break it, 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 I'm going to lift, I'm going to lift, I'm going to lift, I'm going to find the wall, and then I'm going to lift my head. And then I'm going to tuck my knees into my chest. And I'm going to recognize the forearm stand. Because the only difference between your head and your forearm stand is you've lifted your head off the earth. Now, that's a generalized saying. There's a lot more that does go into it, yes, but anatomically, structural-wise from the outside, it is the same bone structure stacking, it is the same muscular structure activation. It just comes in the balance and different in how you move your shift. So, in your headstand, you have those 3 points of contact, right? Always, even with the head down. In this, you still have boom, boom, boom. 2-point contact action. That doesn't mean you have to start there, because the thing that limits people most often is the angle of their shoulders in this posture. So I showed you that it's just headstand with your head off the earth. You can maintain 3 points of contact in your forearm stand forever. There is no rule that says if your hands aren't down, your arms are in a rectangle, perfectly squared, parallel, that you're not in it. It's starting with what your mama gave you, recognizing how much of it is flexibility that we can work through, and how much of it is just compression that you have to adjust and have your unique pose for. Okay? So we're going to turn around, all of us, together towards the wall this time. That may mean you need to widen up. There's also a wall space here. If you don't mind being in the camera for a moment, there's a wall space over here. There's a wall space over there. I just want you to be able to feel this engagement in your body. So go ahead and come on down and tripod or we'll do the basket one because we need you to tripod for this. Okay, so interlace basket, but instead of the basket on your head, palms are together, interlaced fingers, closed palm, grip, no light or air, elbows hug back in space, tuck your toes, lift up, and bring your head towards that crease. And press your head into the crease, and then lift your feet up, find your headstand. Find the wall, let the wall be a support for your feet. No, so bend your feet back, not your butt. Your butt's not finding it today, not yet. Just your feet, bend your feet back to touch. Bend your knees back towards your butt. There we go. Now press into your elbows and lengthen your head off the mat. Elbows might need to come closer. See, this is studying. Knit your hips and ribs together. That core engagement brings your feet away from the wall. Yeah. So taking these towards one another. Yes. Keep your knees tucked towards your belly. That's it, and you're in it. There it is. Yes. Cool. Come on down. Right? Take a moment to recognize headstand. It's a great pose. Love it. It's a wonderful thing to do, but it's not necessary. Whenever people will say, okay, we're going to move into headstand practice, I'm like, okay, you can do forearm stand practice. Granted, it won't be in the wall most of the time, so we're going to build that stability and strength just like we've been doing with everything else. Together, legs apart, lifting them away from the earth. So, for the aspect of this, coming into it, press, and then you're going to lift the feet, and keep working on lifting the head away from the earth. Now my head didn't actually touch down in that. I'm keeping my head up, but pressing it into that crease. So start with your head lifted just a micrometer, an inch off the mat, because you're pressing so strong into your closed crease that your shoulders are active and helping you lift, all right? So we're going to go ahead and do it one at a time, get back into our groups, and then this time we're going to take it up, just like we were doing with the headstands. But you're going to start that same thing, press in, and then lift the legs up wide, facing the wall. So yes, you still have the wall, but it's just one person at a time, and the other person is providing feedback. And let's go. Now, this is great. What is your name? I'm sorry. Bigger. Name. Casey, can I use your practice for a moment as a visual demonstration for the shoulder shift? Perfect. So, you have to think about this posture much like when you play forward and back in space. So, when we're taking this pose, go ahead and I want you guys to watch her go into her posture just for a minute. See how we start with our down dog shoulders, with the shoulders over their elbows. She then tucks, she lifts. Go ahead, find your lift. She walks herself and then it goes into that shift, the shoulders to the wrists. She then lifts her feet up. She's like, now I'm going to look at it. She lifts her feet up and then you're going to see her shoulders shift back into a down dog shoulder as she lifts her head up blocks. Because one of the things that can really help support our postural practice again with using the blocks in your play. I'm not really showing the ones we did except for the feet because really all you got. So for chin stand though, chin stand's great. Chin stand we practiced for a little bit earlier with our hands in down dog on blocks. Now I can't remember, were you there when we played with this one? I'm talking good. Yes. Were you with us there when we did this in class? I can't remember. No.
I was at your last workshop.
Oh, okay. Great. I'm glad you're here. All right. So for your chin stand, it's that same shit. So you're in your down dog. I'm lifting my heels. I'm shifting my shoulders out in front of my fingers. I'm bending the elbows as the chin comes down. The butt comes up. The legs come up. Whoa. The legs come up. And I'm in the pose. So, you are all capable of making it just as smooth as that. In order to do that, though, we build the awareness of where the strength is. So we're not putting weight on the chin. It's in the hands. It's hugging in. It's that low plank that's like, ugh, in the upper body. Now we get to play around with that real good cow pose. You're using those back muscles. You're popping the booty in order to lift the legs. So another version that we're practicing here today is the full locus. If you're familiar with like traditional hot sequences, is that one where they lift their feet up, but they're standing on their chest, or chest stand, I should say. It's the same action. You're building those muscles to create the lift. So we're going to do chin stand as a group. Go ahead and find your blocks. And I use the second height because that's the length that I need for my neck. You might need a lower height. Do not use the higher height. The earth. Cool. Go ahead and try them on for size. I always say second usually works for most people. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up, push it down dog with hands on the blocks. Now your shoulders are back in space. Hug them down away from your ears. Remember, instead of wide arms, you have closed arms. There we go. Lift your heels. Push yourself forward as you start to move forward. Stop with your hips high. Hips are as high point as they can possibly be in that shift, in the shift. Now gaze forward. Keep your chin lifted as you start to lift lower just the chin down as your butt stays up. You'll take one leg up, use your booty cheeks to lift both legs up towards the sky. Now resist touching my belly with your belly. There it is. If there's no wall spot left, come on up. Be a friend. All right, so press your elbows in, close palms. You're going to tuck and lift. Now remember, your feet are going to go back behind you like you're kicking your butt, so you can first find the step. So let your toes touch the wall behind you. You're going to find that support of the wall to help lift the head into your forearm stand. Now I want you to take your legs wide towards the left and right. Using your accordion squeeze, I want you to dip your right toe to touch the earth while keeping your left leg high. Lift it back up. And I want you to take the other side, even if you don't touch the earth with it. All right, use your core, straighten, lift back up. Go ahead, come on down. Right, so you can feel the right side up now. By if you were to lean in one side and go, and bring yourself back to the middle. And then go to the other side and go, and lay yourself in the middle. You're doing great, but I need my spot. Please come down for a second. Thank you. All right, so again, coming into that forearm connection, right? Finding that engagement. My butt pops too far back in space. We're working on getting in and out. But you're working on, you're working on building that external oblique action. So I want you to try that a couple times. Again, toe tap to lift. If forearm standing allowed you to achieve it, do what I did. Headstand, great. If headstand's not your jam, tripod headstand. The toe taps you can do in any of the variations you just learned. So I want you to set up chin stand. Now, your butt is not relying on the wall. You are using your core strength. Think about your legs going wide and tapping down. It's hard. That's right. I love that. Yeah. Yeah! I'm so sweaty. All right, come down. Now you're developing the sides of your body, right? Cool, now let's do the front of the body. We'll think about that. So this time, that area for the body in your handstand is working on the shoulder shift. So we felt the midline, we felt what's needed. Now you have the shoulder shift, which is taking the shoulders out in front of the fingers. As you allow the foot to come up, I am going to hop so that I can realign and find the engagement. For your handstands, you can also utilize a block underneath your right foot to give you a little bit of an elevated perspective. I'll show you the foot option. As I lift the leg high, the hands have more earth to grab. So I can actually focus on lifting the leg from the block instead of trying to hop. So let's all do that. Take the block out in front of your right foot. Step your foot onto the block. Shift the weight into your foot block. But you get to walk away with a collective connection. That today someone helps you and you help someone else. And that's really what it's about. It's coming back into community. It's coming back into that understanding that like when we decide to work together and work with one another, we can accomplish so much more than if we try to go a little fit and do it alone, right? Shifting our perspective. That's inversions. The epitome of them. It's taking ourselves out of what we've seen as normal. Because someone at some point made that normal. Before then, it was this. Right? And that's what we want to get. Let's go ahead and pull down. Bring the feet together, open the knees wide. Take your hands onto your shin bones and lean back, find some traction. Bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. Lift your chin towards the sky. Then bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. Chin up towards the sky. Right ear, right shoulder. Grow tall to the top of your head. Exhale, walk yourself forward. Hands reach out, away from the body, stretching out inner thighs, pelvic floor, core. As we didn't touch much on the lower body today, I do want you to know that these muscles play just as important a role as your upper body did. It's those things that help lift the legs up. Again, we didn't do a lot of cuts and sticks today, but the opportunity to feel the stretch and release is there. Breathing, slowly rise up. Bring the legs together. And then spin yourself around towards the wall. And then come on down to your back. Bend your knees as your feet plant towards the earth. Take your hands down beside your hips. Inhale with the pelvis, low belly, bottom of the rib cage. You should probably have some blocks by you somewhere if you want to take them underneath your hips for a supported bridge lift. Or if your hips are on a block, leave them there. It's okay, it's okay. You're going to lift the feet up towards the sky now. If you didn't have a block before, but now with the block underneath your hips for the lift, do that. And extend your legs with your arms overhead. Big stretch. Gently roll up your spine one vertebra at a time, coming up into a seated facing the back of the room. You're going to shift yourself forward closer to the wall, bending your knees and bringing your butt back towards your heels. Now, nothing with the feet yet, but you are going to take your blocks, one, and place it between the shoulder blades. Two, to place on the back of the skull. Arms to the left and right. Release the chest, the front of the neck, and the shoulders. So the first block is a hot dog length. make a little happy baby. Just reawakening gently. Inhale. Exhale, roll to the left or right side. Roll to the right side. There we go. Gently rise on up. Come to a seat facing the center of the room. Bring the hands together at the heart and facing the center of the room. Within the center of the room, we find this space of nothingness, this emptiness for which one each of us come together in union. Thinking about sending a thought or energy, I don't care if it looks like a color or whatever in your mind, just give yourself a visualization, okay guys? Of something shooting towards the middle of the map, the middle of the space. What you wanted to leave here for someone else to find. Bow your chin to your chest. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, sigh out. Thank yourself for showing up. Thank each other. And thank this space. And it holds and what it holds for us. Om Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you guys. Great job for today. We can do this stuff all day. We didn't get exhausted so fast. We're in an hour. My name's Sarah. You hang out with me here at St. Charles on Sunday mornings for power, Thursday mornings for power, Friday evenings for power. We do all these poses in those classes and more, like arm balances and bodies and stuff. So if you like that stuff, come to those. If not, don't worry. If you like today's inversion class and want more inversions, more information, we have another inversion one coming up in 2 weeks at the downtown location. There will be things that I will remember from this that I will teach. There will be things that I remember from other times of teaching this that I will incorporate that I didn't today. So even if you took today's lessons, the next one will not be the same as the last one because I live fully in the moment and forget. So if you want to